Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good, man. Thursday Night Football is in the book. Started out as a dump fire contest, picked up in that second half as the Jets rolled the Texans, who got problems worse than we've ever seen. CJ Stroud can't hit the side of a barn right now, taking sacks. Just not a good situation. But when we talking Boomer Bust week number 9, who's going to boom, who's going to bust? We got, 5 more weeks left of the fantasy football regular season, if I'm not mistaken. So we got to get these dubs as we get into the fantasy football playoffs, and we can always climb in. Lots of time left to get into the playoffs. Let's talk first these running backs. Chase Brown, Cincinnati Bengals taking on those Las Vegas Raiders. And okay, so far the Bengals, they've been the best, worst team in the NFL right now. And losing Mixon this offseason, they believe they could replace, this running back room with somebody like a Chase and a Moss. And it's been pretty good overall. Not great, but it's been decent enough to get us point productivity. Chase's 4 boom games so far this season and gets a tasty matchup versus these Raiders. I'm absolutely loving it. Leading the Bengals running back room with 82 points on the season right now. And the Bengals need this game in the biggest of ways to save their season with Joey B and company. Hopefully T. Higgins is back this week. We will find out today on Friday if he does get a practice rep in to suit up on Sunday. But this could be a primal focus for the run game to set up that play action pass, to give the ball to guys like Jamar Chase and company. I'm calling a boom for a Chase. TDs should be coming for this running back. Bucky Irving taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, okay, and I believe this game's on Monday Night Football. And when we talk about one of the best rookie running backs so far in this season, it hasn't been any worse, and it's been absolutely better for the former Oregon product in Bucky Irving. Seeing his role increase since week 5, he's been an absolute machine. The perfect complement to somebody like a Rachaad White. Bucky, he's definitely here to stay. I'm a big fan of what he's doing in Tampa Bay. And we know the Bucs dealing with those injuries to the wide receiver room, to Mike Evans, to Chris Godwin. It has not been good, and it's going to make them predictable down the stretch, as we saw last week where Baker was throwing interceptions as they were not afraid of the pass. If others don't step up, this is going to be a massive problem, especially facing the Chiefs' blitzing, spags, tough-nosed defense. He's going to come with the bum rush on a Baker Mayfield. For me, the only thing saving his day right now is the PPR upside and garbage time points. That's it, and I'm not really willing to bite my fingernails off all game long to wait for that, so I'm calling a close bust for a Bucky Irving this week. I think we got better options due to the defensive matchup. Nicholas Chubb taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. And okay, while we were all super excited to see Chubb back on the field after suffering that horrific ACL injury last year, what do we expect? It's going to take him some time to get his running legs back, his football legs back. He looked good, but it's just not quite there yet, back to form. But the positives, we got Jameis Winston, my dude. I love me some Jameis. He's playing at quarterback, and he's going to be providing the passing upside, which will alleviate all the stacked boxes for the Brownies so they can run the football. But, taking on a Chargers tough front 7, they've been fantastic defensively this season. And, he's going to challenge for Chubb to roam free on the ground in the open field. It's not going to be easy, no question. Chubb, like I said, still yet to hit a boom game through his first 2. And, even though he did find the end zone in his first game back, it's been a struggle so far in his first 2 games. He's going to still take a couple games, I think, to get it going. But I'm going to lean on the cautious side this week again. And I'm going to say a bust for the 3rd straight time for Chubby, because it's not looking lovely in Cleveland for Nick Chubb just yet, man. DeAndre Swift taking on those Arizona Cardinals. And, if y'all followed me for a while, you know how much I love me some DeAndre Swift. And, it could just be my Georgia Bulldog running back bias at this point, but I don't care, man. Swift is supremely talented, and he's showing it again with his 3rd NFL team, ripping off big games in the last 4 after starting quiet in his first 3. I don't see much changing again this week. The best thing the Bears coaching staff has done is providing the dedication to the ground game to support a Caleb Williams, removing that pressure and giving the passing upside to a Caleb as he is progressing on the fly. Having a boom rate so far of 57.1 does tip the continue the roll versus a Cardinals defense that does struggle to stop the run on a good day. Boom time coming for a DeAndre Swift. I like it a lot this week. Wide receivers, Jaden Reed taking on the Detroit Lions. Okay, and this is a big problem right now. I mean, for one of the most solid young pass catchers in this league, Reed has been, he's had decent levels of pause over the last 4 weeks, busting in back-to-back games after a meek showing the 2 games before that. I mean, it's been a problem to get him involved in the game. I mean, he's been dealing with injuries. Now Jordan Love's dealing with that groin injury as well, but it's seen practicing, so this is good news. But if Malik Willis does start, I mean, he's been very good in relief as well, so I don't think it's going to be worse for wear, where it should keep the train moving in the right direction. If Malik does play, we're going to see more gadget plays come into a Reed. If Love plays, you got to believe over the last couple weeks, they haven't gotten Reed involved near enough. And I mean, the track here is for a huge divisional contest. It's going to be paramount to get this young man back involved. Back to boom, post a bust for a Jaden Reed. Michael Pittman taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Here we go again, man. Well, I'll never celebrate another man's demise. You guys know this. We don't cheer for injuries. We don't cheer for anything negative on these guys. But I mean, now with Joe Flacco back in the mix, everybody gets an upgrade on this offense. It's a very big positive for these fantasy football purposes. Old man Flacco, he is back. He gets everyone an upgrade in this offense, like I'm saying. Michael Pittman, he's been so far a massive disappointment, and I mean hauling in a handful of TDs, playing second fiddle now to a Josh Downs. But Pittman should get his groove back this week in a very big contest versus the Vikes, who do still play good defense. Even though the past couple weeks have seen some pause as well, they need to utilize the big body pass catching prowess of this guy, wide receiver, create those mismatches, make the plays over the middle, create some red zone opportunities. I got to believe a TD is coming for a boom for Pittman for the 4th time this season. Hopefully it's better than the lower end booms he's been giving us thus far, man. Courtland Sutton taking on these Baltimore Ravens. Okay, heading back to the offseason, what was my must-avoid player? Courtland Sutton. I mean, it was just written for me that it was going to take a lot of time. Hitting that nail on the head, no doubt, man. The positives, again, Bo is starting to figure things out, making a name for himself in this offense, moving it down the field with more efficiency. However, you're facing a Ravens team. They're going to be out for blood after dropping that winnable game versus the Brownies last week. You better hope Bo Nix is ready for the blitz because, I mean, it's going to be coming hot and heavy. Sutton so far, he does hold a 50% boom rate, and that is good. But, I mean, it's been on the lower end. Just like a Michael Pittman, it's been on the lower end. His ceiling's been, 13 points with a floor of 0, man. Either way, it's a risk on a good day. But versus the Ravens, I'm calling a bust coming his way. Definitely stay away from a Courtland Sutton this week. I do not like it. Amon-Ra St. Brown taking on these Green Bay Packers, man. Okay, these these Detroit Lions, they've been winning in multiple ways, scoring 40-plus points in 3 weeks in a row. I mean, the Lions, they're okay, we can't lie, man. They act as they're one of the best teams in the NFL, and it's factual information, man. They're winning so many ways, not even utilizing the top-end talent like they used to in Amon-Ra, in Laporta. I mean, they're taking haircuts this season from what they did last year, but I think this is by design rather than them not actually playing. Look how they're playing. They're running the football extremely well, playing good defense, getting special teams to help out. It's been good. But, I mean, St. Brown's still been doing more than enough to get us by. Last year, St. Brown was, in the 90th percentile of boom players, where this year he's sitting at, 71.4%, which is still great, but it's not what we expect from my guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, coming off a bust last week, maybe, we're saving them for the playoffs. Maybe they're saving them for a massive, plays down the line. This is a massive showdown. You know that Amon-Ra is going to be set to play this one. I'm saying a big boom coming for an Amon-Ra St. Brown. Even though Jared Goff rolled his ankle, he should be good to go this week. Tight end time, Cade Otton. Much like last week, I called Otton a big boom player. I mean, he repaid us in a big way with a huge performance. I'm coming back-to-back weeks to call it once again. Playing the Chiefs, like I said, tough defense. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to get the football out, but, I mean, this has the makings of massive garbage time productivity. While I'm being kind of hypocritical to my Bucky Irving comments, I like it so much more for a Cade Otton, man. Seeing Baker, most comfortable with Otton at this point, now that he doesn't have the Godwin, the Evans, it's going to be very difficult. I don't expect a whole heck of a lot to change this week, especially when it comes to how Baker is throwing the ball. Fire up this tight end with ease. Back-to-back booms for a Cade Otton. Evan Ingram taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, and much like some of the other teams who've lost their top-end wide receiver talent, Christian Kirk now is gone with a collarbone injury. Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr., they're all nursing their own ailments. And I mean, bring back Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, his best target in Evan Ingram. We should see the role be expanded back to what it was last year. What do you have, over 100 receptions last year? Still no real news on a Brian Thomas Jr. and his chest contusion, but I should find out as we get closer to the weekend as well. We'll update you and start sit like always. But I mean, what if he does suit up? It's still good news for Evan Ingram. If he sits, it's good news for Evan Ingram. Either way, it's going to be good, man. All season, since coming back from his injury, 2 out of 3 games have been booms so far for an Evan Ingram. Now without Kirk, I'm licking my chops, baby. At the biggest potential upside, 100-plus yards got to be coming for this tight end this week. Boom for an Evan Ingram taking on the Eagles. He's going to have to throw the football a lot versus that front seven, man. Hunter Henry taking on the Tennessee Titans. Okay, you guys know my love for the skills of a Drake May, and I mean, he's been riding strong, but will he suit up this week? He may not suit up due to that concussion. We will see. I mean, it was too bad that he went down with that injury because he would have still moved the football. Let's see it break out already. But if he doesn't play in as Jacoby Brissett, we're giving Hunter a massive downgrade as we've witnessed the anemic showings of this past game. Even though those Pats coming off the win versus the Jets, Tennessee plays very good defense. I want to say very good. They play good defense. Let's just be real about that. And they're going to take away options away. If May does play, I do foresee TD upside, but he's been very inconsistent. Only 37% on the boom rate so far. Doesn't leave me all warm and fuzzy. I'm going to say back to bust for a Hunter Henry at this point in back-to-back games, man. Taysom Hill taking on the Carolina Panthers. One team, I mean, they started so fast and they just crumbled to the earth. It's been really bad for the Saints at this point. I mean, to be one of the worst teams in the standings right now, hopefully the Saints, they will get some good luck and get Derek Carr back this week. Would help out everybody coming off that oblique injury. Would be a good lift all around to everybody. And we always know that Taysom Hill, he's the ultimate premier TD vulture from an Alvin Kamara. But he himself has been dealing with a lot of injuries as well. Came back last week, only snags, a meek 5 points on the board. If Carr is back, I mean, we should see this offense move down the field much, much better, giving Hill definite shots at stealing Kamara's TDs. And I mean, even still, it's just too much risk this week for me. I want to see him get back with a Derek Carr, keep him on your bench or the waiver wire one more week, bust for a Taysom. Even though I see a lot of people, they're suggesting Taysom this week, I'm not doing it. But there you have it. That is week 9. Boomer Bust. Let's get those dubs. We need those wins. It's never over until it's over. Like, the clock's got to hit 0 before I give up. So stay with me, and we will ride into those playoffs together to win those trophies, no question. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. Stay tuned for Start Sit on Saturday, and we'll see you next time. I am out.